That's beautiful. I want to talk to you a bit about your family because they sound really special. And you've described it as a family that celebrated differences.
Oh, yeah.
You were the youngest of five.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about that celebration of differences and what it's like being the youngest of five.
Yeah, I think it's been great from being a youngster is always nice. I think I was actually really lucky. I think being a youngster and being the youngest of the family, it meant that we could go to move to Swansea and make sacrifices, as me and my mum moved to Swansea when I was 12 years old. To train at the High Performance Centre. And I think if I didn't do that move, I probably wouldn't have made Beijing and the success that I had in London. So I think for me, it was perfect timing. Being the youngest, my next sister older to me was going to her university, so was moving away from home. My other siblings had moved out of home. But I think for us, we've always been brought up with accepting who we are, accepting our different disabilities. So I have dwarfism, my Katie, next sister, has dwarfism, and one of my middle sisters, she also has learning disability. So we've been very much grown up with a family that's, we all have different disabilities, and also all of us are adopted as well. And we've seen my parents used to foster as well. So we've seen so many different walks of life coming through the house and coming through the door. And I think for me, that's definitely helped me accept who I am, and also being open to talking about adoption and knowing I've been adopted from such a young age. I can't even remember when they told me, but it's just something we've just been brought up knowing. I think for me that's helped with being who I am and celebrating who I am. And I think in a way, my personality is I'm very, very competitive, very, very driven. Like my mum is competitive, but I think naturally inside nature is very driven and very competitive. So I think having a bit of that in me has helped me with the success in the pool and swimming. But we're very much aware of being who we are and that you could do anything no matter what, and you might have to adapt, like do it in different ways to everyone else, but you can still get that. And that's definitely been ingrained into me by my parents, Val and Steve.
Your parents sound amazing, amazing people. That competitive nature and your openness about adoption, I know, is so valued by so many people.
Oh, thank you.
You made such an extraordinarily moving documentary about finding your birth mother, and you have reconnected with her. Would you mind telling us what you discovered about why she put you up for adoption? Because there was a fact sheet, I put that in quotes, that she was given that I found so unbelievably moving in all the most terrible ways. And I can't imagine what it was like for you to find that out. Could you tell us that story?
Yeah. So I went through my journey of finding my birth mother. I'd waited in a way since I retired because I knew when I was an athlete that it can be very emotional in a way, and I didn't want any distractions as well. So for me, I've always wanted to know who I am. You know, you mentioned Derbyshire, and that's on my passport, Glossop. And I was like, I've never been to Glossop, but it's on my passport. And, you know, when you go to doctors, they always say, like, have you got any history of medical things? And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't have the answers to that. And growing up, you know, like the story of Tracy Beaker, when you see her and she's always got these visions of what her birth mother's going to be like. I was like that growing up. I wanted to always try and meet them, and having this opportunity to do it, but then also doing it through a documentary, because I think in a way in society, like, there's a lot of children and a lot of individuals in foster care and who are adopted, but we don't really talk about it that much. It's quite negatively portrayed in the media that if you're in care, you're normally naughty, all that type of stuff. And I thought, you know what, to have this, going through this journey, but also highlighting fostering, highlighting adoption, and also highlighting disability as well in the care system. And throughout this journey that I was going to find my birth mother, I found out that the information that my birth mother got given when I was a baby, so nearly 30 years now, because I'm 30 in November, November 11th, the day before you. And I found out, that the fact sheet that she got given from, I think maybe the medical professions, was that, having a dwarfism meant that job-wise, we're likely to go into the circus. We were probably not medically, we were not intelligent. We were going to be stupid. We're going to be laughed at a lot. And I think when you're vulnerable, and again, I've never had children, so I don't know, but from my friends and people who I know who've had children, you're in a vulnerable situation. You're exhausted, you're tired, all that type of stuff. For her to, again, she hasn't known anyone with a disability, and then to give this information that your child's different, but this is maybe the way that it's going to be for her. And I know there was lots of other factors for her as well too, so it wasn't just my disability being one of the factors. There was also other things as well going on, so that's not the only reason. But it's scary that even 30 years ago, people with a disability and dwarfism we're seen like that in society. And yeah, it's crazy that that's what she found out and that's what she knew. There was nothing else to help her there and support her with her decision and her information and support her with having a child that has a disability and has got dwarfism. And that's why I hope that now it changes, and it is changed. It has changed so much, but I think there's still a lot more education that the medical professions and the support system around could do to help people who have found out their child has a different disability.